What's up everyone, I'm back with another video on the E30. I actually have the E30 with me this time, so the car is going to be in the video. I already started doing the Vader installation last night. I started to take out all the original seats and everything. I couldn't film because it was getting pretty dark and the quality would have been awful. But I'll give you guys a rundown and show you what I did to take off the seats. Right now I have the Vaders in there. Just as a test fitting kind of thing, but right now I'm planning to do the installation of the fabricated rails that I bought. So I'm gonna pull out the car and then give you guys a rundown of what I did. So here's how it's looking right now, just with the seats just basically on nothing. Yeah, basically there's 4 bolts for each seat, easy enough. All you to remove them and then the seat just comes right up. I suggest before doing the removal of the seats, especially if you're installing Vaders, is to remove the seatbelt anchor first before you put in the Vaders, because as you can see, the Vaders are a very tight fit in the car. I still haven't put on correctly the rear M3 seats and bench. But for now I'm going to take these out so that I can get the brackets in. Here's a better look of it without the seat. Yeah, it's pretty dirty right now. Another thing that I forgot to mention is I removed the door sill. It goes right here, along here with where the holes are. And removing that just makes it easier to pop this up to get access to the nut that holds down the seatbelt anchor, because there's 2 of them, one right here and one right there. When removing the door sill, I suggest using a flathead instead of just prying it open, because I actually ended up splitting one of the door sills and then I had to order another one. But alright, so I'm gonna get the fabricated brackets for the Vaders and see how they line up with the holes. Alright, so here are the brackets in. Try to line them up. As you notice here, they have these bolts welded on so that you can screw the seat onto this one without the bottom part, with the head of the bolt out moving. I'm sorry, not moving. And then, so yeah, just line it up with the holes. But first thing that you do notice is all these bumps on the floor pan of the seat kind of get in the way. But I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes, both screwing everything down. I found a good angle, so I'm gonna just show you a little bit of it. Alright, the brackets are in. Taking the plastic off was a bitch because they had to cover these to not paint the thread. So I got those off and these are on there tight. It seems so crammed, but I guess we're gonna see when we put the actual seat on. See how that goes. Damn guys, I already fucked up. So I put the wrong bracket on. I put the bracket on for the passenger side instead. So, well, I just put the right one on, but I had this one on. So time to screw back in. Quick update on what I'm doing. I don't want to film the whole thing because it's taking forever. Because one thing comes up, like, it's just hard to fit on. you gotta keep improvising and keep moving it around. But yeah, just a quick tip. If you'll notice that these won't show unless you slide the seat forward. So make sure that you crisscross when you put the bolts on, and slide it forward, slide it back, so that it evenly tightens on all sides. So I'm gonna keep doing that, but I'll show you guys once I'm done. Took about half an hour to keep moving everything and get it adjusted well, but I'll show you guys once I'm done with the other side, the whole finished thing of the front, both front seats, and then I'll go on to the back and finish that up. But it looks super nice. I'll be able to touch this up. I'm gonna get to that and make a video of me touching up this leather. I know of a way to basically restore it, but it's a cheap way. Pretty bad to do it, but oh well. And here's the spot where, like I said, take off the seatbelt anchor first and then put it back last, so you can still put it back on. And as you see, the anchor needs to be shortened in order to fit on here. And if you can see how long it was before, I'm gonna get that shortened by 6 inches in order to fit it on here, but that won't be till last. I'm not gonna drive the car because I don't want to drive without a seatbelt. But now on to the other side. Alright, they're finally both in now with the rails and everything centered away and tightened down. I'm going to show you the end result. I also put in the back seats, the back seat and the backrest, but you'll see the back rest for the back seat doesn't lock on. The hinge is off by about 8 inches or so, so the back seat backrest doesn't hang on properly. So I think you can't use the coupe backrest. I think I might have to switch for a sedan backrest, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, don't be fooled, it doesn't fit. Well, I mean, it doesn't lock on. It looks right here. Oh, it's hard to get a good shot of it, but now I'll show you what I'm talking about. That hinge right there, and that hole right there, see, it's on the other side, wrong side, so it won't lock on. It'll sit flush, like it fits flush with everything, but I just can't hang it on. Maybe either switch backrests, because I know my buddy uses a sedan backrest that fits well, but either makeshift something or find another backrest, or find the sedan backrest and use that. But the bench seat isn't really much to it. It did click on, so it's actually on there. But yeah. Alright, now the two front seats actually on the car, bolted on. That's how it looks. I'll get a view of the other side. Now the only problem I'm having is that I'm having trouble sliding the seat up and down, or I mean forward and back. It's probably just my seat, something wrong with it. I gotta look more into it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Try to get a good angle, but this first one is the one that makes it slide forward and back. And I can't slide forward. Well, I was able to at first when I was actually putting on the seats and bolting them down, because you have to move it forward in order to get the back two nuts on and screwed on. But now, after I backed it up, because at first it's so far forward it's not even comfortable, now I can't go forward, so I'll have to look more into that. But right now it's at a good position, and man, they're a lot more comfortable than the original seats. Now I know why people do them. It looks better, feels better, probably drives better. I'll find that out later when I actually get the seatbelt anchors shortened so I can put them down or put them on. Yeah, I'm tired. It was quite a bit of work to keep arranging them and try to get them centered and actually in place. You have to keep lifting up and down, and you got to use your back because you can't really squat because you got the door, top of the door hitting your head and whatnot. So yeah, it was quite a workout, but they're on. So I'm probably not, like I said, I still have to shorten the seatbelt anchors, so I'm gonna go get that done tomorrow. And so when I install those, it'll be a different day, and then I'll have to put the door sills back on. See, right now it's exploring. I have all the wiring out because the door sill's the one that covers all that. So yeah, I'll have to get those put on and the seatbelt anchor put on. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. This doesn't conclude this video, but for me it'll be tomorrow. So yeah. Alright guys, so it's actually been a little over 2 weeks since I last made the previous clip. And yeah, I've just been really busy with work and school. I work and go to school full time. I'll be done with school in December for my classes for criminal justice. Anyways, so luckily a guy from work was able to weld and cut and weld the seatbelt anchors for me. So I got those done now, and I'm gonna install those and basically just finish up this video of the seats. So here's one of the seatbelt anchors. It was shortened 6 inches from the middle and then welded back together. It's supposed to be MIG welded, but he TIG welded it. Not really much of a big deal for me. I could care less. But anyways, basically what he did, just so you guys know if you guys want to take it on yourselves, I didn't have a welder, so I just had him do it, especially if it was at work and for free. So he just basically just made a mark in the middle so that he could line it back up so it wouldn't be crooked or anything. And once he made that guideline, he started cutting. He cut it. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, he didn't cut it. Then he measured 6 inches from the middle and marked them, and then cut at those points. And then once he cut at those points, he shaved off the paint so that he could weld it together. And then after that, just dumped it in cold water, and that was it. So I'll get these in. I'll show you guys how these fit in the car in a second. Alright, here we go. So I got this cool little light set up right here because it's dark as hell in this garage, even with the light on. So here is this bolt that extends from the rail right here, and it makes it so that you can put on the seatbelt anchor on that one right here like this. And then let me get the light. So there's the hole for the other side of the anchor. So the screw comes all off with that. So the entire screw is in the box right now. I have to grab that. Forgot to grab those. So you won't need one of these because obviously you have that one, but you need the second one with the washer. Let's see if we can go back in there. Alright, so we're there, and you have, if you get the kit that I got from Kadunza, however the hell you pronounce it, you are left with 2 extra nuts, and those will go on there. Well, one will go on there, and the other one you won't use until you get to the other side. So here, I'll open this up. The bolt is, there's too much thread for this nut. Could just over tighten it and mess up the rubber gasket or whatever you want to call it. Alright, I'll be back. I'll try to figure it out. That one's in. So that's how it'll look once you got the seatbelt anchor on properly. You can actually use your belt now. Slides right on there. So once you got that done with, you install this kick plate back on. If you noticed earlier how there were holes, there was basically just a panel here with holes, and you cover it back up, and that's it. Alright guys, that does it for the seats video. They're in and ready to use, kinda safely. Not really, because they're not even recommended for road use, just for show. But who really listens? So I'll catch you guys on the flip side.